Good morning. It is Tuesday, June 3rd. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I'm here for another tarot casting for the energy of the week. I'm using the Crystal Hands casting sticker. This is I usually use it to look at, weigh options around a certain situation. It was the one that just kind of popped out when I was flipping through my book this morning. Using the out of hand pocket edition, some Lenormand tiles, and then some little button things I've made. So let's just get to it, shall we? We got our central energy for the week is the Two of Cups. I like that. Maybe you're weighing in a decision, or you're coming into a new partnership or a contract, or there's something that's going on that you've been working towards, and you have to commit to it, and you're still trying to weigh those options. So let's take a look at those options. We have on one hand, we have the Five of Swords, and on the other hand, we have that Page of Pentacles. When I see those together, I think about, this Two of Cups could be this joining of bringing together our knowledge, as well as, the things that maybe the discords that could be going on in and around your life at this moment. It doesn't mean it's all bad. It just means that, there's a healthy way to debate things. And perhaps on one hand, you haven't been doing it in a healthy manner. You've just been winning at all costs, right? And that's, nobody wins in that. Whenever there's the words that you can't take back, or the burnt bridges, or, in the out of hand tarot, I have somebody who's cheating on a test with a soda can, but even though they're cheating on that test, they're really cheating themselves in the long run because they didn't learn the information. So it could be telling us that you might think you know all the answers regarding this commitment or this contract that you're going into, and maybe even in your partnership. But with that Page of Pentacles, it's showing me, on the other hand, there's always more to learn. There's always more to study. There's always the beginner mindset. So whatever it is that you're getting into this week, just know that you don't know everything, and the true way to connect and the true way to go forward is to have an open mind and to be able to absorb more knowledge, right? To be able to figure out all the little steps. I'm going to put some Lenormand tiles on the above and below. The below energy is the stuff that's in the dark, right? Maybe these are new things, new ideas, or it could also be things that you're not quite knowing about. I have three. So we have the stork, garden, and the book. And there's that study. I like that the book is literally bringing the page, this way, and then the above. 1, 2, 3. We have coffin, birds, and bouquet. Okay. And the coffin kind of goes with the Five of Swords. I love when these patterns, when I'm laying them out, I'm like, oh yeah, that kind of tracks. So this energy that we see, and maybe this is with the full moon, what we're letting go of, right, is there's an ending to the anxiety that in the end becomes this gift, right? So there's something that has been going on, and maybe that has been this Five of Swords mental realm of being like, oh, am I good enough for this position? Am I good enough to sign this contract? I am not worthy. I am not deserving. So there's an end that we're letting go of that mindset, right? That anxious chatter. We're closing the chapter on that, and that in itself, understanding that this is the time, is the gift. The underneath part is this, what maybe the seeds that we're planting, right? Because on a new moon cycle, you want to put out your manifest intentions of what you want to manifest. And in this scenario, we were talking about that Page of Pentacles, and wanting to be able to understand more about the situation, about this contract or this partnership or this commitment that you're getting into. While it is a leveling up, we have that stork. In your community, there's always going to be more knowledge and unknown factors, but that's what's so great about it, is you can hit the books. You can it's not inaccessible to you. It's going to open up a new way of thinking, perhaps, and a new way of just understanding. So it's kind of, I feel like it's going to be a good week for just knowledge seeking. And we're still in Gemini season, so that kind of tracks. I have the air, water, fire, and earth here in the four corners. And I made buttons, but they don't have pins on the back, so they're like this, out of the rock oracle. I may have these in the shop. It depends on if I'm ambitious and take pictures today, so we'll see. But they are coming. Anyway, so we're going to check in with our thoughts, right? So this week, here's a word to check in with your thoughts whenever maybe you feel like you're getting back into this Five of Swords energy. Sorry if that's really loud. And we have abjure. So when we abjure something, we let it go. So when that thought starts to spiral back into, are you worthy? And I love that it's near the Five of Swords and the coffin. With abjure, it's basically being like, don't allow it to take up space. You know, I was explaining this word to Jenna recently, and I said, it's kind of almost like you're dead to me. Like you're cutting it out of your life. So when your thoughts start to spiral back into that, just take back control of them and be like, no, not today. This is not where we're going. In our emotions, when we get into our feelings this week, here's something to think about. And we have witness. So just sit with your emotions, allow them to happen and witness it. You don't have to solve them, but when they come up, just sit and hold space for them, witness them. They're coming up for a reason, so just sit there and allow them to happen. Fire, we have the inspirations. What is inspiring us this week? And to speak out. You know, it is always important to speak out, especially when you're inspired, and be inspired to vocalize it, you know, allow that inspiration the time from being just a thought, and speaking it makes it into reality. And then earth could be what is grounding you this week. And we have navigate. So maybe you're going to go on a trip, or maybe, you know, take a little journey and be able to navigate where you're going. So just do it. When I see that, maybe the navigating and the grounding speak is kind of do it with intention. You know, don't just leave it up to the universe. Like, actually make the plans and navigate those plans, and that will help you stay grounded. So whatever you're getting into, whatever contracts, whatever commitments, whatever partnering up you're doing this week, I really hope that it works out for you. And just know that there's always going to be other options. There's always two sides. So just don't be afraid to examine it. And I will see you here next week. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Also, if you want more access to the stuff that I create, my world, monthly Outlook readings that are exclusive only on my Patreon, be sure to go check out the Creative Divination Circle on Patreon. May was an amazing, fun month, and I know June is shaping up to be the same. So I will see you there. Bye.